Jack firmly believed that his wife could come back to life. He put his wife into the bathtub and soaked her in traditional Chinese medicine for a full 3 years. But on this day, a policeman moved next door with a child. When the man woke up, he found his son was missing. He searched the entire building but found nothing. He remembered that his son often mentioned the neighbor Jack next door, so he immediately went to find Jack. The man asked if his son was playing at Jack's house. Jack said he hadn't seen his son, then closed the door. Jack's behavior aroused the man's alertness. He suspected that Jack had kidnapped his son, so when the neighbor went out to take out the trash, he sneaked into Jack's house. He looked around but didn't find his son. Then he lifted the curtain and found a female corpse soaked in the bathtub. Suddenly Jack appeared behind him and knocked the man unconscious. After a while, the man woke up. He saw Jack painting his dead wife's nails. It turned out that Jack's wife had cancer, so Jack had to strangle her first, soak her in Chinese medicine for 3 years so she can wake up. The man thought Jack was crazy. Early the next morning, he prepared beautiful clothes for his wife. He waited from morning to afternoon, but his wife in the wheelchair showed no reaction. Just then, there was a knock on the door. The policeman asked if he had seen his neighbor. He said his neighbor was on a trip. Then the police left. Later, Jack returned to the room and tried to wake his wife. He felt his wife's body temperature gradually rise. Excited, Jack untied the man's restraints, but suddenly the police burst in and arrested Jack. At that moment, the woman who had been dead for 3 years suddenly blinked her eyes, but the man didn't see it. In the police car, Jack saw his wife being put into a box. He knew she would be cremated next. He suddenly broke free, jumped out of the police car, and tried to stop those who were harming his wife. But Jack was hit by an oncoming car and killed on the spot. Just as Jack ran towards his wife, the wife in the car tried to move her fingers, wanting to prove to her husband that she wasn't dead. When she saw her husband die, she shed tears and finally gave up the chance to revive. Later, the man's missing son was sent back. The man had abruptly intruded into Jack and his wife's life, making their 3 years of effort come to nothing. He went to Jack's house and found a videotape whose content shocked him even more. It turns out that Jack was the first to get cancer, and the wife did the same thing, soaked her husband in Chinese herbs for 3 years, and eventually managed to revive her husband. But soon after, the wife also fell terminally ill. That's why Jack was so certain that his wife would definitely come back to life after 3 years, because that was exactly the path he himself had taken back then.